Hey, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today I am sharing a very cool wizard mask, because I've always wanted to be a wizard, and my something scary today. Do one thing every day that scares you. My daughter challenged me to do this year, and so today I am taking a page out of the book and sharing it with you. Now that's pretty darn scary, I think. So, I am supposed to rate my social anxiety for certain things on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, it didn't say what the scale was, so I made up my own, of course. 1 being no anxiety when it comes to this particular topic, and 10 being like panic attack, take me to the hospital, get me a defibrillator type of anxiety. Of course, I don't experience that type of anxiety very much or very often. Really not kind of ever. Nothing gets me that much anymore. Been there, done that. So the first thing is rate your social anxiety based on meeting someone new. So if you're meeting someone new, how much social anxiety does that give you? Me, I rated that baby a 1. Speaking to a stranger on the phone, that gets a 1 too, because guess what? I've never died by speaking to anyone on the phone before, so I'm not really very anxious about that. And actually, a lot of times, I might not be very nice, depending on who I'm speaking to on the phone. If it is a person that is rude and disrespectful and a customer service person who's supposed to be helping me solve a problem, I will have no anxiety talking to them and telling them what I think and how I expect them to help me solve my particular problem. The next scary, anxious, or anxiety-generating activity is going on a blind date. Okay, this baby gets a 6 because I haven't been on a blind date for, God, I want to say about 30 years. Yep, probably 30 years. And so that one would give me a little bit of social anxiety. Of course, it always depends on the circumstance, so I'm not sure how scary that really is for me or not. Next item on our anxiety ranking list is going to a party. I don't really have any anxiety about going to a party, so I rate that one a 2 or a 1. Going to a party alone, I gave that one a 3. I guess it would depend on what the party was for, what the situation is, whether I would be anxious to attend that on my own or not. Next, we have paying a compliment. That gets a 1. I have no problem paying someone a compliment. As a matter of fact, I go out of my way to look for people that I want to compliment. I always think that we should be building people up and not tearing them down, so I'm always looking for ways to make people feel good about themselves and for feeling better for having come in contact with me. That's one of my personal objectives. So that isn't very anxious making for me either. Next we have accepting a compliment. Well, this one's a bit harder for me, so I gave this one a 3. I don't know why that is. I guess that's just a self-esteem thing and a I don't feel good enough baggage from heaven knows where that came from, but I don't take a compliment as well as I give a compliment. I'm getting better about it. I usually just try to say thank you and then shut up, but that does give me a little bit of a tweak in my stomach or my solar plexus. How about defending myself? Hey, that gets a 1. That's not a problem for me at all. I'm very good at defending myself. Stating a contrary opinion. Yeah, that's not really a problem for me either. I gave that one a 2 on the 1 to 10 scale of whether it makes me anxious or not, and it really doesn't, but I would say it depends on who I'm stating my opinion to. And it doesn't depend on any particular person's perceived status or position or I guess how I mean it depends. It depends on how much I care about that other person. So I might not state a contrary opinion to my kids depending on whether it makes a difference or not in their life or my life. I might just let it slide in order to not hurt their feelings or not hurt their self-esteem. Correcting someone. I gave that a 2 too. I don't go out of my way to correct people, especially if it's for something that doesn't matter. One of my pet peeves has become people correcting other people on social media or on the internet. I mean, if you have eyes like I do, you make typos and you make mistakes. I don't need 100 people sending me a message saying, oh, you spelled this word wrong, or you have a typo in the comment that you put on my Facebook post. Who really gives a rat's butt? Does it really matter? No. So I just gave that one a 2 because I don't really feel the need to correct people, and you know, I really don't really need them to correct me either. I usually know as soon as I hit the button that I made a typo, and I feel stupid enough about it. I don't need a bunch of people telling me that I did it. Next, we have asking for help, and I gave that one a 7 because I know that personally, I don't ask for help. I'll try to figure anything out as much as I possibly can before I go out of my way to ask for help. And it's not that I'm afraid or anxious about asking for help. I just don't want to bother anybody. I know everybody's busy and we've all got our own things going. And so I figure I need to be a self-solver, and it's up to me to solve my own problems whenever possible before I go ahead and ask for help. But if I need help, I'll ask you. Anyway, the last one on here says something scarier. I have not given this enough thought to decide if I could think of something scarier or not that I would rate my anxiety on. I am not and don't tend to be a very anxious or scared or fearful person, except when it comes to snakes. Snakes, I guess, would make me very anxious. That would probably get about a 7. I've been known to jump and scream and run away from a baby gardener snake at the state park where I like to go for walks, much to my embarrassment and chagrin, but it's just because I don't think anything without legs should be able to move that fast. So that's my scary thing for today. Go out and stretch your comfort zone, see what makes you scared, and know that you're braver than anything that you happen to be afraid of right now. And have an awesome day. See you tomorrow. Bye. Love the wizard mask.